We have, of course, Professor Emmanuel Danaura is a VP, Vice President, Nigeria Institute of Public Relations. I guess we'll bring you that report later. Thank you very much for joining us on Newsnight. Good to have you.
Thank you.
So there is a first Nigeria Reputation Perception Index put together by NIPR, Report 2025. Tell us why it's become necessary, to come up with this report, and what impact, what exactly is the objective, and what are the highlights of this report that you put together?
All right, thank you very much. Generally we have had people talk about Nigeria having low trust in government institutions. We've had people talk about our reputation and our perception, sometimes banding figures. But the truth is that nobody since 1960 has been able to really take time to do a scientific study of reputation and perception of this country. And that became a great concern to us as an institute, because we are the sole regulator of public relations and issues of reputation in this country. Now, 4 years back, we did a summit that we call Citizen Summit, which required engaging with citizens from the local level to the state level up to the zonal level, and then we came to Abuja. So we collated suggestions from Nigerians on how we can move this country forward, particularly at a time when there was very strong reasons pulling people apart and divisions and creating lots of tensions all over. And so that Citizen Summit was our strategy to diffuse tension and to ensure that people have avenues to air their views. And in that report, we presented that report to the nation, presented it to the federal government. Some of the recommendations of that report are what we are implementing today. One of it is that we saw that there is nobody manning the reputation gate of Nigeria. And so in that report, we recommended the establishment of the Nigerian Reputation Management Group. But we are very convinced that it needs to be a private sector driven initiative. Right. And so the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations decided to take that initiative. Having established that reputation management group, which we are happy to have Dr. John Momo as the chairman of the advisory council. We also have Chief Yomi Badejo as the chairman of the management board. Now they've come up with their strategies, and we realize that the only way we can measure the extent to which they are succeeding in managing our reputation, the extent to which we are able to support the various activities that will come from that group, is to ensure that we have verifiable data that can inform planning. Okay. And this is what informed this study. It's the first of its kind in Nigeria. We never had baseline study on our reputation and perception. We rely on external bodies that did mostly perception study.
This is very important, Professor. I know, Professor, if we allowed you would talk us through our entire news. But you have a 35.2 out of 100. If you had to score this as a professor, I'm sure this would be a D, if not an F. So that's worrisome. But talking about methodology, who was surveyed? How was it carried out? Demographics, region? How did you get to this figure? And who carries the greatest responsibility when it comes to correcting Nigeria's reputation? And how do you even go about that?
Well, we had a very robust research design. We segmented, first of all, the critical audiences and stakeholders that are concerned with managing Nigerian brand and interacting with the Nigerian brand. And so we looked at the local level. We segmented it again to the youths, women, public sector, private sector, media, NGOs, and all that. We also looked at Nigerians in diaspora. Okay. We then looked at our colleagues in other continents. So when you put Africa together, we surveyed people from 6 continents. I mean, we drew our population from 6 continents of the world. We covered 35 countries outside Nigeria. We equally, in Nigeria, we ensured that 36 states of the Federation and Abuja gave us the respondents. And so we had a total of 3,911 respondents, with the local population giving us 65% of that number. So that's how it was designed. And everybody had the opportunity of being selected. It wasn't just a survey. We also had focus group discussion. We had engagement one-on-one with some of these respondents.
I mean, that's quite interesting. And I'm wondering, what exactly is the role of the National Orientation Agency? Yeah. I want to believe it's part of their job, you know, to put out the correct image of Nigeria. But really, is there an ideal Nigerian brand, you know, that you talk about? And the right reputation perception, how exactly is it achieved? Is it by default in providing good governance? You know, everybody's saying great things about, say, Nigeria, for example, because this is about Nigeria. Or is there a deliberate strategy to ensure that the domestic perception that Nigerians have is different from what the externals believe about the country? Is there a convergence? How do you...
Well, first of all, from the result we have,
right,
there is a variance between the percentage, the score, for Nigerians' reputation and perception between the international audience and the local audience. Local audience was a little higher, but the 35.2 you're talking about is a cumulative score.
Right.
Now, when we understand reputation to mean track record of an entity, to mean it's a accumulation of so many things before you can say this is the score for a country.
Yeah, but when it's not a very good reputation, how do you clean it up very quickly?
Yeah,
well,
and who is responsible for that?
Very should be, yeah.
Well, everybody, and that's where I'm coming to, everybody, because it is what we do. People interface with us at different levels. Most times it's not just government. Government has its role to play because there is the issue of governance. And that's a very strong component of the framework that we have developed, homegrown. It's also important to know that even the least person you think, I talked about, for instance, a visitor coming to Nigeria. It might just be a taxi driver or a truck pusher that helps him with his luggage and something is missing. He goes away thinking that is Nigeria. So you see, we need a lot of sensitization. Media has a lot to do as well to ensure that different players will play their role appropriately. What is important is we should give the right signals to the world about Nigeria and about us and ensure that we match our promises
Thank
with
you so much, Professor.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Professor Emmanuel Danaura is the Vice President of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.